at the half, total sum of all of those parts. The Dolphins, meantime, couldn't get nothing going. Tua off the hands of Devon Achane, and the other way, Tyson Campbell, a pick six, makes it 24-6. Campbell recently acquired from the Jags, making an impact.
Yes,
and all Mike McDaniel can do is watch.
Tips and overthrows.
You love them.
Gotta have them.
You love them. Oh, they ain't done.
Sunglasses still on, maybe to hide the tears, because Tua's picked again.
That was a terrible decision.
Rayshon Jenkins taken down at the 2. You got to house that one, right?
Yeah,
Matt?
keep going to the pylon.
Sounds like someone who's got him on his fantasy team. Tua's second of the game. Things falling apart for Miami. Judkins, fourth rookie in Browns history with 3 rushing touchdowns in a game. Maybe finding some identity there. Dolphins' next drive. Stop me if you've seen it before. Tua over the middle. Picked.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Gave it away 3 times. That's back-to-back starts with 3 INTs for the Tua man. Benched in relief. Quinn Ewers, we will not show because the Dolphins lose 31-6. And questions starting to bubble on that hot stove as Tua, McDaniel, and the Dolphins fall to 1-6. Cleveland, meantime, in the win column for the second time this season, a lopsided result.
Wow.
Dylan, you told us yesterday that quarterbacks are judged on wins and losses. Yep. Win number 1 in the National Football League. How closely does it match what you dreamed about?
Yeah, it feels good. Winning's fun, but just proud of everyone coming together, doing their thing, and making plays when we needed to. But that's what it's all about, you know, just coming together and finding a way to win.
That's it? Winning's fun? No big smile?
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
All right, this defense has been playing lights out. When you can give them a performance like this, let Myles Garrett do his job and get after the quarterback, what does that do for you?
It's huge. You know, we talk about playing complementary football every single day. It's important. We got a great defense. We got an offense that's working and continue to grind and get better. And there'll be things, you know, we'll both look at that we want to get better at. But even on special teams, making plays like that. So it gives us a chance to win. We came together and made it happen, which is really good.
How about your running back, Quinshon Judkins, the way that he ran today? What was most impressive?
He's a workhorse, you know, and he never flinched. You know, he's hungry for the football, and we want to keep feeding him. So appreciate him.
Well, we saw a smile there. How about the rain? Was the rain better or worse than you expected?
Just part of it, you know, embracing Cleveland, but spent some time in Oregon with some drizzle, and then where I'm from in Hawaii, we had a little rain too, so the rain's not too bad for anyone.
Well, congratulations on the battle of the left-handed Hawaiian quarterbacks and on your first win.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, so plenty there from Dylan Gabriel, who gets his first career win. Quinshon Judkins, the story of this one offensively, but the questions, well, those might belong to Miami. Back in studio to ask those questions, Jonathan Jones. It's that time of year. We've already seen one firing, and I know the quarterback's got to play better in Tua Tagovailoa back-to-back games with 3 interceptions, but by virtue of his contract, we're going to see more Tua. How much more of Mike McDaniel are we going to see if it keeps going this way?
Well, I mean, it is possible. I'm not sitting here saying it is going to happen, but it is possible that Mike McDaniel has coached his last game with the Miami Dolphins because of just how bad this game went, right? I mean, 31-6, you're in the rain. This is a battle of 1 in 5 teams, right? We're talking about the Lefty Bowl and all that stuff, right? This is a game that the Miami Dolphins need to win. And the offense has been playing better. When the seat was super hot on Mike McDaniel going into that primetime game against Buffalo after they started 0-2, the offense started to play better. And then they beat the Jets. That is their one win against the only remaining winless team in the NFL. But the offense had been there. And then, you know, Tua making mistakes last week, throwing his team under the bus, of course, apologizing for it afterward, but speaking to the culture within the locker room there. And now this game against a Cleveland Browns team that is starting a rookie third-round quarterback, and you only can muster 6 points here. It's been bad. There's very little hope that it's going to get better for the Miami Dolphins. And if I had to say who has the hottest seat in the NFL, certainly since Brian Callahan's firing in Nashville, no doubt Mike McDaniels is the hottest.
It's difficult to sit here and offer what an owner might be thinking, but we see with our eyes the lack of almost will to win. I know everybody's out there. They're all professionals. They're all trying to do it. They've been touched by injuries of their own right now. What is the road back to maybe not even relevancy for Miami, but a team that's no longer questioning whether or not this is the right head coach?
Well, I think finding out what the roster will be in with the detail of the roster moving forward. Because right now, they have no fighting chance to get into the playoffs. Now it's about moving forward. Who is deserving of being on this roster? Secondly, they have no leadership. Leadership is more important than talent in the National Football League, in my opinion. Because when you have guys that can lead, they can rally the troops and point them in the direction they need to go to be at their best. Right now, they have no leadership. And the prime example of knowing that is because of what happened last week. When your quarterback bring in-house business to the neighborhood for all of us to talk about in the neighborhood, that's the first telling sign they lack leadership. Because if there was an issue with what was going on with player-only meetings and players not showing up, you handle that in-house as a leader, right? So that tells me he's cracking under pressure as well. So when you look at everything that has gone on, before we get to the field production or the lack thereof, they're in a bad position, which what you said, JJ, makes all the sense in the world because you know this, Logan. When you're in a bad situation, when you're dealing with injuries, the ownership and the masses want to see guys continue to fight. Even if you come up short, they're fighting. We saw Cincinnati do what Thursday night? They fought. We saw Cleveland do what today? They fought. That gives ownership and the masses hope that, you know what, this guy can still get these guys to be at their best, even though we might be a bit shorthanded in terms of talent.
Something needs to be shaken up. Like this week. I don't know, head coach, quarterback, GM, whoever it is, that's not it. And B-Mac, when you get blown out by a 1-5 team, and you're a 1-5 team, and you get blown out in the NFL.
Rookie quarterback, too.
Yeah, on a rookie quarterback, right?
Without a win.
Without a win.
Let's keep making the case against it.
That plane ride home,
it's going to be tough.
Bro, that is two things. It's either dead quiet or they're going to start cracking the cards out because guys don't care anymore, right? So there is a lack of leadership there, and when Tua did air some dirty laundry, I felt like he's the only leader in the building then. Because he's got no one else with him up there. He feels like he's got to start calling out players to not come to player-only meetings. I've been a part of player-only meetings, and I've never had players not show up to that. That is as bad.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah, that is as bad, and we both had some decade-long careers. That is as bad as I've heard. So to air that is bad. For no one else to say anything is bad. For people not to show up is bad. It's it's bad over there. So I don't care how that game went. When I saw that score, you get blown out in the NFL to a 1-5 team. That plane ride home, you're sitting there looking, hey, calling your agent. Am I on the trade block? How much get me out of here? How long am I going to be on here? Is my coach going to be here next year? They need to shake something up immediately. I think Miami's a fire sale right now.
Well, it could be, right? And certainly teams around the league are going to be looking at their pass rushers. They're going to be looking for Bradley Chubb. They're going to be looking for Jalen Phillips. One guy I don't think is going to be on the move is Jalen Waddle. He's under contract through 2028. He's their #1 wide receiver now. He will be next year. Tyreek Hill's not going to return. They're going to release him because of his contract. But you touched on it very briefly. GM. Chris Greer has been with that organization for about a quarter century, and they don't have the wins. They don't have the playoff success to show for it. A big reason why they're in this position now, we can talk about leadership, we can talk about the coach and all of these things. There is also a lack of talent on this team. Take, for just one quick example, the backup to Tua Tagovailoa, one of the more injury-prone quarterbacks in the NFL. Going into this season, they decided to sign Zach Wilson. Now, they benched Zach Wilson, made him the emergency third-string quarterback this week for Quinn Ewers. And so that was your plan the entire time. So fire sale, yes, I do think they're going to be selling off some parts. But what is going to be interesting here, and you guys have been a part of this before, where you have a GM who may not be the GM making the picks in the future, sending away guys hoping to get picks for the future, sort of short-term versus long-term at stake here.
I can hear the Browns fans right now. Didn't we just win in a blowout? You did. Congratulations, Cleveland.
We don't have to talk about Shador right now.
We tip our caps to you, and for that we give thanks as well. But for Miami, it's a long flight. At least it's a flight back to Miami. I don't know. I haven't checked the weather. It might be one of those Sunday rainstorms. The way things are going, it certainly is. A storm brewing here under Coach McDaniel, who slides to 9-15 over these last couple of seasons. After that hot start, when it looked like the window was open, slammed shut, the direction now unknown.